Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
All right, Trey, you're meeting a coworker or a friend of a friend of someone for the first time in real life. Maybe you've had a virtual relationship with them, maybe as a coworker, or they're friends of a friend and you basically, been following them on Instagram or something like that. So is it okay? Let's say you spend a lot of time looking over their profile and their post and they know what movies they went to or what their new puppy's name is. Is it okay to bring that up in conversation with them once you eventually meet? Because that can make things a little bit awkward. You do a lot of cyber stalking. So what's your advice?
as an expert in this. So, my gut instinct is don't bring it up in that first conversation unless somehow it just magically starts to happen. The topic of social media posts comes up in that first conversation. But regardless, this is a topic that can get awkward. And one of the tips that I like to help people out when any kind of awkward conversation happens is just go ahead and acknowledge the awkwardness. That brings the temperature down in the room so much and brings the tension out of it. So you can just say something like, okay, like at the risk of sounding like a stalker, here, I noticed, hey, you got a new puppy. Tell me about the new puppy or something like that. Or you could even joke and make fun of yourself like, hey, I've got way too much time on my hands. And so I happened to notice while I was scrolling endlessly that, your kid got a hit in the game, something like that. Just go ahead and be a little self-deprecating, and that can take some of the tension out of the way.
So my advice would be don't tell them that you've followed them. If it weaves into the conversation, or you can, behind the scenes sort of weave it. If they like dressing up as Boba Fett, maybe bring up a Star Wars reference and it'll go that way. One of the easy ways, though, to do it is say, I think I follow you on LinkedIn or Instagram, something like that along those lines. You don't want to make people that you meet for the first time feel creepy because you know too much about them. There's nothing worse or creepier than Big Brother or big follower knowing too much about you. So be very careful about how you weave in that conversation. If it's going to be natural, you don't necessarily have to cite what they posted 7 months and 3 weeks ago to make them feel comfortable. It's just going to make them feel uncomfortable. You can take, lean into some points they're talking about, but you don't have to overwork. Social media is not supposed to be a tool that you can use so that you can scout someone. It's supposed to be that you can connect with someone. And if you can do it that way, the rest of the conversation at least will flow. And that is a reminder that, Trey, I'm going to ask you for the last time to quit looking at my profile with my 3 followers on TikTok. Stop doing it.
If you'll stop posting those dance moves, I'll quit trying to copy you.
I got to do a shuffle.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.